recording. Okay, so as I was saying, we have the bottom on this level. We can come back here to see the 76.40 fib. And last week, so we had the CPI, this CPI drop. Then we have been struggling in between this 61.8 and 50% fib, which is the fib of the ABC down. So I was saying before, I didn't record it, that we could see a little bit lower, even up to this 100%, 97 or 58. But first we would stop in this area where we have the big mama. So let me grab it from here and I can add it on the clean chart, a little bit cleaner chart, what I try to do always because I have a lot of things on my chart. Okay, so we have it there. So the big black one are very, very important. I mean, we won't break that directly to the 100%. That's not possible. We have this very, very big thing. We can look on a weekly chart how important they have been. The black one is the big quarterly multi-year ABC down that was holding from 2016. I'm just refreshing everybody. We had touch again double bottom here. We went to the 50%. That's when we had a bounce on the Euro USD. Then we broke through that 61.8 for the first time since 2016. Then we came back to retest it, and now we nearly touch the 76.40. It's very important to keep that in mind because sometimes we are inside a daily noise and that's not helping. So we touched the 76.40 red, but we didn't touch the 76.40 black, which is the big mama fib. So this one is very important. I still expect we could see it, or we could bounce from there, but we'll see what happens. That's what we are looking for. So I buy the longs, I buy the Euro USD long, whatever happens now. And so two important things this week. This week we have the FOMC, so that's clear. The FOMC, let me grab the data thing. 1 second, because we are doing a weekly update, so we need to look at the important event of this week, and we have several. So we have this week two very, very, very important will be, of course, the FOMC meeting here. We expect it's already priced in a 75 points hike. It could be 100 points hike, which would push the USD up, so the Euro USD little bit lower, and probably retest the level I just spoke about now. So that's a very, very important data we have this week. Then on Friday, we have a series of flash PMI in Europe, French, German, and the consolidated PMI of Europe. I think it's somewhere here. And we have the US flash PMI. So a big series of US flash PMI on Friday. The very important thing for the next weekend, I won't speak, I think, again about this. I don't think it's here. I'm not sure. Let me check if they put it there. Yeah, this one. So Sunday, next Sunday is the Italian parliamentary election. Why they are very important? Because there is a big mess in Italy. Italy is the third economy in Europe. So it's a very big economy. And we could compare now the situation of Italy, not exactly as it was in Greece some years ago. You remember about the Greece problem, and the ECB had to take part of the debt of the Greece at this time to save Greece. They won't be able to do it with Italy because, as I said, Italy is a much, much bigger economy, so much, much bigger debt than Greece was. That's why they put this famous spread control, blah, 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 in place that Lagarde spoke about. So this one is very important because we are now looking for a potential election of the extreme right, which would be another country falling in the extreme right or getting a parliament with the extreme right after the Swedish one. If that happens, that could really kick the ass of the on the downside of the Euro USD. So before this week, pretty much everybody will try to be in a short position before that Sunday, where actually they have in the last pool, they have like 40% of the, I don't know if they have any, if there is any pool here. No, there is no pool there, but it's very important. So you can read some things here, like 16th of September. What do they say? So they speak about the thing. So this woman would be the new, not president, but like first minister of Italy. They have a very strong pull for now, very, very strong. Okay, so they have very, very strong, the right-wing coalition. That's what they say about. So it's very important. Meloni, Giorgia Meloni, that's the name I was looking for. I didn't remember his name. So she is with Berlusconi and all those people from the extreme left. She didn't say she would leave European Union. Of course, she cannot financially, but she is quite not very pro-Europe. So that will be very important because we can see a big move after the confirmation of this, even if it's already priced in, because they have, I think it's the last pool. I don't know if they speak about the pools here. You can look at that later. So both branch tournament, blah, 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 and 63%. So you will see they are very, very ahead of everybody. So it will be important to look what happened this week, but that will be a big mover for the next weekend. So we need to keep that in mind because something can happen here. Okay. So let's go back to the calendar of this week. So we know today we have a bank holiday because of the Queen Elizabeth ceremonies, the last days of the Queen Elizabeth ceremonies. So the market is slow. It will be going a little bit up and down, and we will find back the real volume only tomorrow, with a little, probably some push in the afternoon with the New York Open, which is what we will see. Okay, so that said, as I was saying, and that's why I started with this big level there, because Sunday could very well see a drop, and then we would see a push. Then surely on Monday or Tuesday, Meloni will say she's doing nothing drastic and she's not getting out of the European Union. Of course, they cannot. I mean, the debt is way too big, but they will ask for some modification. And one of them, to finish with it, is that the stupid thing in Europe now is the gas and the electricity are linked, the price. And there is absolutely no reason for that. The only reason was that Germany wanted that because Germany was very gas dependent. But since the gas went up 10 times since the start of the Ukraine war and the European sanction, then the electricity is going up like hell, which is absolutely not logical. So they will disconnect them, and they have already said they will do it. And that's one of the things they want, this Meloni want, and she's right to ask that. And she will not get it, but it will be done because other country, and France is one of them, have asked that to be done. So it's already on the way. So very important to keep this big level in mind, because that's where we could land on Sunday if we would have a real big move up to there, up to this big 76.40 fib or later. So I will probably be, exceptionally, I will probably be online on the Sunday Open. I never trade the Sunday Open, but depending on the results of the election, I will look if we land here, which is the 76.40 or at that level, and I will prepare a chart with the biggest level in this area, because this area will hold for sure. So that's something we have to keep in mind. Okay, that said, we go back to the intraday levels. So we can look this fib here. So we are in between the 61.8 and 50% of that ABC down. We have respected some inside fib there. We went on Friday right to the 50% from the bottom after posting a phase breakout under this. So you see we have had this phase breakout under this consolidation. Then we came back in it and bounced from it, and that's where we went long. I was long here, and I added some long here. That's what I call on Friday, and then we banked 70 something pips on Friday. So now we pull back, of course, because, as I said, many want to be short due to what's going to happen next week, because it's considered as a bearish event for the Euro USD. We have to be careful because it could be totally the opposite. I mean, she will be elected, that's nearly 100% sure, but she could very well be very quiet on her first speech and try to cool down everything to avoid a big attack on the Italian debt. So it's not as simple as it looks like. If we go up, like as I expect this week, if we can go up a little bit, and we have the FOMC in the middle of that, so that will be really a hard week. But ideally, if we are a little bit up on Friday, perhaps getting a short and keeping the short inside the Sunday open could be a good idea if we consider this election could be pushing back down the Euro USD. Concerning the long-term view, nothing has changed. Up we will go, and the reason is not that the Euro is going to get a lot of strength. The reason is I am expecting the USD to get a lot of much more weakness, and I already explained why. I posted some very interesting things to read on Twitter this morning from tough people, expert in that, and they are saying exactly what we have been saying since the last weeks, which is there is already a lot of red signal pointing on the market about the situation of the economy in US, which is not at all, I have it here, by the way, so it's not at all the same thing than people are singing all around. The economy was strong, the unemployment is still strong, so everybody's saying the unemployment is showing that the economy is not having any trouble, and that's completely wrong, because the economy is already starting to have some trouble. That's why FedEx even didn't post the number they were supposed to post last week, because they are probably very bad, or not the numbers, but the expectation they have for the end of year. The other day it was UPS, I think, that said Amazon volume has slowed down like 30% or something like that. So we are seeing many signals, and it's important to read this thing, even if I don't read a lot of those things. I mean, I don't give importance to a lot of those things, but when now they are joining our view, it's important to take it in consideration, because it means there is really some signal about slowdown of the growth, increase of the negative sentiment of the consumer, and that's all going in the same direction that could show a bigger recession than expected in US. There will be a recession all over the world, in Europe, in everywhere, perhaps not in China, but there will be a recession in most of the biggest economy of the world. Many think the recession will be very shy in US and very strong in Europe. It will be strong in Europe, but I think it will be not shy in US. So actually people are pricing in USD is very strong, and I am not pricing in that. So that's why I think the Euro USD will go up soon, and when it will start, the USD will really be attacked hardly. You have seen the S&P last week. We had this move. I called for a long, I banked it, but it's really it's really a tricky time, and we need to keep in mind what's going, or what can happen to the USD and the US economy in general. So if we look this chart, which is my crowded chart, Okay, so we have several levels we are looking at, and we have the volume chart too that I have here, which is very interesting because here I have all the volume analysis, and we see we mostly bounce on this quarterly volume block. We are struggling a little bit. It's a very slow morning. So what is important here is we have this pivot area, which is very important. As soon as we will get above 0.9996, then we can see an acceleration on the upside. So intraday, nothing has changed of last week. The level are the same. So here I have drawn this ABC down, which could be potentially used in case we would look lower, thinking this is one leg consolidation and we could see another leg. And if we look at the 100% of that one, it's at 0.98. So then if we go back to this big fib here, so you see the 0.98 is right in the middle of those levels. So in case of a drop on the FOMC, for example, until, let me copy that one, until the these high are not taken, I mean, we do not post a new high. I think it's possible we post them before Wednesday. It will be slow waiting for the Fed, sorry, not the ECB. So now that's where we are. So if this is an ABC down, we would be now under the 2360, which could be formed here. So we would look for this 38.2, which would be the next level we would touch. And then we have the 61.8 here, 76.40, 78.6 right on those big fibs. So that's an image you can take and you can use. I will put here the values of those levels, and they are valid only till we respect this high in place. Okay, so that's important. You have it, you have all the levels there, and you can take this image. I will by the way take it here and post it on the Twitter feed, so you will have it there on the Twitter feed. I will post it at the end of the of this update. Okay, so that's where we are now. Intraday, I already said that we have this here, the daily support we had. We should come back to this area this morning, probably before the New York Open. I would hope to see this area. That would be great. We have a volume block and we have a year-to-date volume block there. So that's an important area, and you see how it has been acting. And we have some dynamic support on the way. So if we look at this, it's not updated. Sorry, I need to open it sharp because it didn't open in the morning. So this is the EMA chart. So we have here a confluence with the 1 hour and the 4 hour 2021 EMA. So this area for sure will be an area where we would see a reaction on the way up. On the way up, this area will react, of course, and then we have the weekly, daily open, and just above it, the daily 2021 moving average together with this 200 1 hour moving average. So this area will be very important. And of course, the next area would be this one from the monthly, let's say, to this level here would be another place where we would see a pullback when we would get there. That's what we can see for today. Concerning Dixie, let me go a little bit on Dixie. So we are here. On Friday, we went, sorry, on Friday, we went right on the 78.60 fib here. It has pulled back. It has offered pullback. We are inside a potential ABC up, like the ABC down of the Euro USD. We have the 38.2 that would be the next level, and then the 78.6. So that's the thing we can look for, a confluence together with the Euro USD that we just looked at. Okay. So same thing here. We have exactly the same thing with the 76.40, 78.60 fib there. And if we would break that, on the FOMC. I think we could retest it and probably post a double top here. I don't think Fed will be very hawkish. I think we could have even a surprise. I'm not convinced they will post 100 points hike because of all the signals they already have about the effect on the slowdown of the economy. So I don't think they will do it. They could, but I don't think they will, despite we had a very bad inflation number. So I expect a 75 point, and I think they could be a little bit dovish in the comments about exactly about what we are saying, which is the impact on the economy and the fact that they need to be careful about slowing down too much the economy, because that will be much worse than the inflation at the end. If we go to the setup to finish this update, so we go to the setup here. We look at the general setup. So we are still inside an upside move on the upside daily setup on the Euro USD, unfolding a 4-hour. We have now a 1-hour long setup, and more important than that, that's why I'm looking to get long when I can. So this morning we had a 1-hour very low reading together with what I just said, so that's why I went long. For now, I banked only 14 pips on this move. So we could see a continuation. If not, if it goes a little bit lower, and we go back now on the 5-15-minute chart, which is the chart I use for all my trades. So now, as soon as this one on the 5-minute would come back lower, and here we would have something in this area on this reading together with a 15-minute price 6 indicator, then it would be another buy. So either a double bottom would be a buy here because we have a previous signal, a very complete previous signal with a very low reading here together with a 1-hour. So that's the first option. And the second option would be we would go a little bit lower according to the chart we just saw on the Euro USD. So that's all for now. If you have any question, just let me know. I'm sorry. I won't be there inside the rest of the morning, the end of the morning around the noon, let's say at 10, 11 GMT and even 12 GMT, I won't be here. I have some external thing to do. So I will be back probably a little bit before the New York Open. So I keep on screen till probably between 10 and 11 GMT, and then I would be back for the New York Open.